Thanks very much, Darren. So firstly, welcome to Anzac House. This is the home of the RSL in South Australia. And thank you to the Port Adelaide Football Club for joining us today. So it's going to be a pretty significant game on Saturday. It's the first time for a while that the game has been played actually on Anzac Day, so that's pretty special. We know that football in South Australia and the Anzacs had a few things in common. There were a number of them that served. Members across the state have been working very hard to commemorate Anzac Day this year, and we're expecting over 150 dawn services to be conducted. There'll be other services throughout the day as well. We think we'll have a pretty huge crowd here in Adelaide for the service and for the march, and then of course the people who will be going across the road to the footy. So in conjunction with our commemorations, we're also conducting our Anzac appeal, and Port Adelaide Football Club have been supporters of this appeal for many years, and we're really proud of that partnership. We know that Port Adelaide have an excellent history of community engagement and also of support to defence families across South Australia and support of the RSL, so we're really excited once again to be working with them throughout the appeal.
Why is footy and Anzac Day and this sort of commemoration or celebration a good mix?
So we know that a lot of our Anzacs were footy players, and I don't think there's a football club in Australia that didn't send some of their soldiers to the war. Some of their players to the war, and we know that it's the sort of thing that these guys were doing when they were in training in Egypt. They were playing footy. They were probably playing other sports as well and doing all sorts of things, but footy was a big part of what they did in their downtime.
From Port Adelaide's point of view, we've always considered it a great honour to be playing on Anzac ground, to be playing Hawthorn at Adelaide Oval on the centenary of the Gallipoli landing is a unique privilege, and it's one that we feel a heavy responsibility to commemorate well. It'll be a very, very big day. The relationship that we have with the Australian Defence Forces and the RSL is very special to us. It's long-standing. The guys have been stretched to the hilt in getting this this enormous event together. From our point of view, the very small part of it is the game, but for us it's an important part, and we will be we'll be doing a lot of things on the day. There will be you can imagine a pretty special pre-game service. Thelma Kelton, who was Peter Batko's sister, will be awarding the medal as she did to Boak last year out on the ground after the game. We've got the Defence Forces playing the emergency services team as a curtain raiser. Our two Guernseys, the Magpies are playing Nord on Friday night, and on both Guernseys, the AFL and the SNFL Guernsey, the 120 servicemen who played for Port Adelaide are listed. So that's an important privilege for our players to be able to wear that. We'll be raising funds for the RSL after the game as part of the appeal. So it's a very great privilege, as I said, and we look forward to it. I know the players, both be able to talk to this. They see this as one of the great fixtures each year, and this one even more so.
Both of you won the medal last year. What does it mean to you to win that medal and to play on Anzac Day?
I think certainly for our group and our club to play on Anzac Day is a great honour, and certainly I don't think about winning a medal or anything like that, but it was a fantastic honour to win the medal last year and to win in front of our home crowd on Anzac weekend, and for our group to play this year on Anzac Day is, as I said, a great honour, and to wear this jumper with over 120 players that played for this club and also served is also very special for our group, and certainly we'll go there with a lot of pride, but looking forward to a good weekend.
Can you just put into perspective where this, it's obviously a big honour to play in this game, where does that sort of rank in the season of games?
Oh, look, they're all pretty special to play an AFL game, but certainly Anzac weekend, Anzac Day is right up there with one of the best moments you'll have in your AFL career, and certainly we can represent our club and represent our country hopefully the best way we can, and certainly it's a great honour.
Is there a bit of extra energy and adrenaline, and does it you just lift a little bit especially after mid silence?
Yeah, you certainly do. I think it's when you're standing out there and you have the minute silence, and the feeling you do get from that is, at times you probably get a little bit, a bit sad, and but also a great honour and privilege to be where you are just because of what people have done for this country, and so it's great to be out there in that moment, and certainly very special to be a part of.
Will you be heading along to a dawn service, and do you get involved in the whole atmosphere of the day?
Yeah, certainly we've done it in the past as a club, and we've done it as a whole group in the past, and that's certainly something we'll probably speak about as a leadership group, and then as a group towards the end of the week, and see what's best to do. But certainly our club really respects it, and we'll probably look at doing something like that.
Certainly the Magpies, who we're playing the night before, will certainly be down at the semaphore dawn service, and have done that for many, many years, and we'll be laying a wreath there. For the AFL boys playing that night, it might be more difficult. We haven't decided that yet, but certainly all of the Magpie players will be there.
Keith, there's 120 fallen servicemen that played
No,
Adelaide, or
servicemen, yes.
What does that like to? What does it do for you? What does it mean to you to be able to sort of put a jumper on and be reminded of these people that have sacrificed so much?
Yeah, I think, as I said, it's just a huge honour. It's a huge honour just to put the Port Adelaide Guernsey on, but then to put one on with 120 people who have served and have played for this club is just, it's hard to put into words really. And certainly, hopefully, we can represent them as well as we can, because they've done so much for this country and for our club.
I was actually speaking to a soldier who'd just come back from Afghanistan last Saturday night. And he was talking about his love for the club and being in a really tough situation overseas, watching a game against the Gold Coast. And I said to him, mate, what are you honouring us for? You're the one who's putting yourself on the line. You're the one at risk. We honour you. And he was genuinely taken aback. I couldn't believe it. But that's. You spoke about what is the relationship. For him, that moment was really significant because it helped him get through a really tough moment with his mates. So it just put it, in a bit of context, by having that conversation.
Do you receive much of that sort of feedback?
We do around Anzac Day. What I love about the preparation for Anzac Day is the stories. I think that. You come in contact with families and people who have served or currently serving, or have families who have, and it's the matter-of-fact way in which they tell the stories, which are often incredible, that just blows you away. And in our history, Bob Quinn wins a Magarey medal on either side of winning a military medal, and his family, they're just wonderful people. But think about that as a record. He serves for 3 or 4 years, but wins medals both sides, and it's somehow just joined in the overall story of Bob Quinn and the Quinn family. And I'm sure all of these families have a similar story to tell, and I love that about the connection. As I said, we play a very small part, but it's a part that we treasure.
Boak, the game itself, obviously Hawthorn, Premier, last year's Premier finalist against you guys. How tough will this be?
Yeah, look, it's going to be another big challenge for us, and I think certainly we've played some big games so far already, but another one in Hawthorn. We're looking forward to the build-up, we're looking forward to the challenge, and most of all looking forward to the Anzac Day, and certainly hopefully we can get a big crowd out there to pay respects, but also enjoy a great game. And we're looking forward to the big challenge, but we're going on with a lot of confidence as well. I think we got a lot of confidence from the weekend, not from just the result, but the way we really fought it out. I think we were, they got the lead back, North Melbourne, with 4 or 5 minutes to go, we're zipping 2. We could have quite easily folded, but the way that our guys really fought on was fantastic, and I think we got a lot of confidence out of that.
How do you make up for the loss of Ollie's? Tackling pressure's been huge this year. Hamish spoke earlier in the week about his leadership and physicality and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, look, it is a big loss, but we've spoken in the past about our team's not just one player, and certainly we'll look to replace Ollie as well as we can. Youngie played a fantastic game on the weekend. Brendan Archie was certainly in the same mould as Ollie, in the same body shape, and really cracked in, and that's what we loved from his game on the weekend. So certainly we've got guys that can come in and will help replace Ollie. It's probably not to that level, but certainly the way we want to play our brand of footy, they'll come in and do that.
So Brendan was starved. Are you sort of confident that if he gets a little more game time that he'd be able to sort of lift his output as well?
Who was that, Redo?
Archie.
Oh, Arch, yeah. Look, I think so, yeah. Like, he could have come on halfway through the game and he would have been able to run out a full game. But I think, being his first game, the way he came on in that last quarter was exactly what we wanted from him. And but he's right to go for a full game if we needed him.
Matthew Logie, how's he looking on the track this week, Josh?
Yeah, he'll have another test tonight with our main session. But I saw him running around on Monday and he looked really, really good. So at this stage he's progressing pretty well, but he'll just have to get through tonight and see what happens from there.
And Matty White, he's brought up all right for the weekend.
Yeah, so he just had a bit of an ankle issue during the game, but he sort of ran it out. So he'll just be monitored during the week again, and you have these sort of little niggles during the year, but they're not really too much. You might have a quieter week on the track and be fine by Friday. So that's certainly one that we'll monitor during the week.
Boak, physically, how tough will the game be? Hamish mentioned during the week that they sort of bully teams into submission, and Jared Ruppert said yesterday that they just like winning the prune, so a bit of byplay there. How tough will it be? Yeah, certainly that's the way they play their footy. They they want to be physical inside, and have also got great skills on the outside, and we back ourselves in that game of footy as well. We thought we matched them with them last year when we played Adelaide Oval, and then again in the prelim. We sort of matched in that area, but certainly we need to go to another level with that. And probably over the last couple of weeks we haven't been able to win the contested ball and inside, so we know it's going to be another big challenge, but we'll be up for it.
Hodge obviously had a huge game on the weekend. I think it was 44 and a couple of goals that he had. Is that something that you're really targeting, sort of go after the skipper in this game?
Oh, look, he's probably one of probably their whole list that could do damage to the game, but certainly he had a fantastic game on the weekend. But I think he's one of probably a few that will probably look to target as their key players. But if he gets 44 possessions again in a game, it's going to be pretty tough for us. So that's certainly an area that we'll make sure we can try and handle.
Do you want to exact any revenge for that heartbreaking loss last year? Is that still burning inside?
Oh, look, I think if we win on the weekend, it still makes no difference. They still won and won the flag. But certainly it burns, and it really hurt our group. And we made sure that we kept that in the back of our mind to help us, to drive us to get better things. And we weren't good enough on the day. We weren't good enough to win the game. But certainly that helped drive our group through pre-season, and we'll look to make sure we get better again this year.
But how important have Pittard and Broadbent become for your team attacking from defence?
Yeah, they're a vital part of our team, and I think both of them bring different aspects to our backline. Jasper loves to run and carry the ball, and Broady's a fantastic kick of the footy, and I think that they add so much to our back group, but also our offence as well. And we look to really go through them a lot, because they're fantastic users of the footy and really love to take the game on, and that's how we want to play our footy. We want to take the game on, and certainly they love to do that.
Keith, you've appealed the Andrew Moore 3-match ban, SAFL. On what grounds, and your thoughts on it?
Well, I think the general reaction of the public has been consistent with ours. When we saw the incident, we just thought that it was rather innocuous. It was certainly something that we would prefer Andrew not to do, clearly, and it's a message that we've got to send, which is you can't touch umpires. But I think we would simply argue that there has to be some consideration given to the level of impact and the intention of the action. And I thought that the umpire's account of it was quite telling, where he really spoke of feeling as if he was in a conversation, not being intimidated at all by it, and thought it was Andrew was simply being demonstrative about the incident. And we would like to think that if we get a chance to appeal on those grounds, that we might be able to get the sentence reduced. I'm hoping that it's a little bit of common sense. I know it makes sense that some form of a statement needs to be made about those sorts of incidents, but in the overall scheme of things, it appeared really minor to me. But we'll see how we go.
How
Do you feel it so?
Sorry.
So how upset is Andrew by the whole thing?
I saw him as we're coming here. I think that he was surprised. He didn't feel as if it was an offence of that magnitude. From a football point of view, I think that whenever any player who misses an opportunity to play is really disappointed. Games are valued highly. 3 games is a really big penalty.
This could be quite a big appeal. Do you see how it could be the hallmark case in tribunals?
Well, I think there are precedents already set in regards to handling umpires. I just think I like to think that common sense can come into these decisions. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but we'll certainly take it through the appeal process, see how we go, and understanding fully as we did. Andrew pleaded guilty, so we understand the issue and that a statement needs to be made. But whether it's 3 weeks or not, we need to find out.
What is common sensitive? What kind of penalty do you think should be?
Well, to me, I thought my personal view was that it was a fine and a really strong statement about 2 players that this is not acceptable. I thought the outer range was a game, but clearly, I'm not the tribunal. We'll find out.
Do you think a fine would send a statement to young kids watching at home?
Well, I think so. Because it was you get the opportunity. The amount of coverage these things get is, it's a really well established concept anyway. I think this is reinforcing it. And if I'm thinking that if I was a 13 or 14-year-old player and I saw that, I wouldn't be thinking that's particularly aggressive or a bad look for the game or anything like that. But it would give coaches, young junior coaches, an opportunity to say, you just can't touch umpires at all. And I think that's really what we'd be trying to achieve. 3 games. It's heavy.
You'll be disappointed that message hadn't already got through to Andrew then?
Well, he's probably had 15 years of hearing that message. But he was. If you have a look at the incident, he was having a conversation. He was being expressive, and he made an error. I don't think it was any more than that.
Is it a bit disproportionate? Chris Yarran, I think, got 3 weeks for throwing a haymaker at Chapman and drawing the blood, and Andrew Moore gets the same.
Well, I think that if you look at the way that those 2 incidents look, and you take away the message that it sends from just how it looks, I think there's a pretty clear difference in the degree of severity in both incidents. And I'm hoping that the tribunal hearing the appeal process will enable us to talk about that.
A day like today, Saturday, put it all into perspective. Sometimes we talk about football. Football is going to war and going to battle, and it's almost flippant, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we certainly feel as if it is at times, and we're very, very mindful of the role that we play, which is minor. What I do like about these opportunities is it does provide us all a great chance to reflect and talk about our servicemen and the contributions that they make, and that's really important. I think we have great perspective as a code about that. People get a bit flowery with some descriptions at times, but I think in general terms, the level of respect that AFL provides to this weekend and to this, these games is pretty good.
Trav, what do you feel you're up, mate? A quiet start to the season, a good game last week. you feel like you're getting near your best, or how far off do you think you are?
Oh, look, I think I've sort of just been progressing the last few weeks, and certainly not to the extent that I want to be playing at. But certainly our group is starting to get better and better, and that's what the most important thing is to me. And I've just got to make sure that I'm captaining the side as well as I can, and that's probably the most important thing to me, to make sure that I'm on game day captaining as well as I can for this group.
Trav, as a player and a captain, how did you feel when you saw Andrew's incident?
Oh, look, I think Andrew's disappointed as well as we are that he's going to miss 3 weeks. But in regards to the appeal and all that sort of stuff, that's what the club will handle. But I guess from a playing group, we're just disappointed that Maury's going to miss a few weeks, because he's certainly close to playing a game in the AFL.
All right, thanks guys. Might just get near the height of the Guernseys there, if that's all right, Blakey and KT.
Yeah, thanks.
Could you both stand in front of the desk to do so, please?
Sure.
Nice and wide, you know.
Keep it going.